Hey guys, it's me, English teacher Matthew, and I'm back again with another video. In today's video, we are going to learn how to use the present simple tense correctly. So let's talk about the present simple tense. The present simple tense is probably the most simple tense in English. We use it to talk about our daily routine. So, for example, what we do every day, every week, every month, and every year. We also use it to talk about things that are generally true. So here are some examples. I work outside. She lives near here. I speak English. Do you speak English? So, what we know about present simple is that with the subject I, you, we, they, we don't need to change the verb. So for example, I work, you work, we work, they work. But remember, with he, she, it, we must add an S. So for example, live becomes lives, he lives, she lives, it lives. She lives near me. He works outside. He speaks English. Now, not all of the verbs are simply adding an S. So, for example, with the verb go, or even the verb do, we have to add ES. So just to be careful with some spelling. Now, if you want to use it in the negative and use not, we just put the not before the verb, but we need the verb do, the auxiliary verb do. So for example, I can say, I don't work inside. Don't work. Don't work. I don't work inside. She doesn't live near here. Notice here that we put the S into the auxiliary verb of do and make it does. Doesn't, does not. She does not live here. She doesn't live here. Okay? And this rule applies the same way as we use it in the positive. I, you, we, they don't do something. He, she, it doesn't do something. So it's fairly simple to use the negative as well. Now, in a previous video, I taught you how to make questions and ask questions, right? So just remember with the present simple that we just add the do or the does at the beginning to make the question, depending on what the subject is. So for example, do I speak English? Yes, I do. Do I speak Persian? No, I don't. Does she speak English? Yes, she does. Does she speak French? No, she doesn't. Pay attention to how I answered these questions as well. And remember, if we want to add more information, we just put the question word before the do. What do you do, for example? What does she do? And I recommend you check out my video about questions if you are unsure about this, because I talk more about it in that video. Also remember, I talked about using adverbs of frequency in a previous video as well. And actually in the present simple, we usually use these adverbs of frequency. So just remember always, usually, often, sometimes, hardly ever, and never, and add those into your sentences as well. They can make your English sound much better and more native. and give more meaning than the sentence rather than saying I work outside. So for example, I can say I always work outside. So thank you for watching. If you have any questions, make sure you leave them in the comments below. Share this video with a friend, and if you enjoyed it, make sure you like it and subscribe so you can get the next lesson next week. Thank you for watching, and remember, keep practicing.